Hello and welcome to episode 2 of Creative Crossover. This is a show where I interview somebody working in a creative field and have a conversation with them about what they do, how they do it, and more importantly, why they do it. So before we get into today's show, please can you all connect with me on Twitter? It's at Jack Spedding, that's JAKSPEDDING. Just reach out, let people know that you're listening, tag some people in that you think will be interesting to talk to, and hopefully we can make this grow over the coming months. Today's guest is Mary Speakman, owner of Code Galaxy, who are a website SEO and branding agency based in Blackpool. So, welcome to Mary Speakman. Welcome to episode 5 of Creative Crossover. Please can you just introduce yourself and tell me a little bit about what it is that you do?
Hello, I'm Mary Speakman and my company is Code Galaxy, and we are a Lancashire-based business and we help companies grow their online presence with bespoke website design and digital marketing.
Cool, nice one. So first up, we're going to have the quick fire round so that we can get to know you a little bit better. So first off,
Okay.
iPhone or Android?
Well, I'm a bit of a mix. I have an Android phone, but I work on an Apple Mac.
Yep.
I'm a bit of a mix, really. I think I like the Apple because of the looks, but I do prefer the functionality of an Android. So, yeah, I think Android more for me.
Right, cool. Netflix or YouTube?
In my house, it's really divided where I prefer Netflix because they've got so many great films. But I know my children are big YouTube lovers, especially when it comes to opening eggs or making slime or any of the weird things that you can watch on YouTube. There's so many great things on there.
Yeah, it's a bit of a rabbit hole, isn't it?
Yeah.
Work hard or play hard?
Oh, goodness. Play hard.
Play hard,
definitely.
Cool. Text or call?
Text.
Text?
Yeah, you'd be lucky if I answer a call.
Love or money?
Love. Oh, yeah.
Cool. A book or audiobook?
Book.
Book?
Yeah, definitely. You can't beat holding a book.
What have you been reading recently? Anything good?
I've had quite a few different ones. A lot of them are to do with more digital marketing, so not really anything exciting. Although I have been using Amazon's Audible downloads, where I've been listening to one from Fern Cotton about silencing any negative chatter. So it's been a really nice one to listen to. Yeah, so a bit of a mixture, really.
Cool. I didn't even know that Fern Cotton went into that kind of thing.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's really good for about positive energy and about just making sure that you're feeding really good positive voices and vibes to your like your mental health. But it's really brilliant, and it makes you more aware that although everyone has like their own like anxiety or fears or stress or anything that's going on, that it's quite ordinary and just to accept you for who you are, really. So it is really brilliant. So highly recommend that one.
Definitely great advice. So what would you say is the best thing that you own?
What's the best thing that I own? Oh my goodness. I'm trying to think of what it could be. What have I got? Goodness, what do I own? Just try. That's a really tricky question. What's the best thing that I own? I'm just like looking around now, trying to figure out.
Paddy, who was my first guest on the podcast, he was looking around and his turned out to be his cat. And then we had a technical question about whether you technically own your cat.
That's
he paid money for it, so apparently he owned it. So that was
I know.
that was his. But
my first thought was my children, but I suppose
that's
again I
one,
don't really own them.
Yeah,
I do kind of own them, but not. Yeah, I suppose I've not really got anything materialistic that I'm quite excited to own. Really, I suppose I'm not that bothered, but that's a bit sad, isn't it?
No, that's cool. If you're not materialistic, the second question may not be best for you. But what's the best thing that you don't own?
What's the best thing that I don't own? Probably pets, because I'm not really good at looking after animals, so I probably wouldn't trust them around me.
Yeah, just buy you a house plant.
Yeah, I think even plants though, they're a bit risky. Some flowers occasionally, they might last a few days in my house, but yeah, looking after anything that's living, I wouldn't trust with me.
Yep, cool. So take me back to the beginning. Where did your creative journey start? Where did it all begin for you?
I think I've always been quite creative. So When it came to ever making anything, I was always really excited. So whether it was like sewing, whether it was painting, drawing, anything that I could get my hands on and turn it into something different, I was always really keen. So it meant that even like with makeup or hair or just anything, I was always really good at turning into something brilliant. So I knew that I was always creative, and I suppose that in any like job that I've done or any work that I've been involved with, I always use that creativity and that different perspective in what I do.
Yep, cool. So I'm just having a look on your guys' website, codegalaxy.co.uk. The bit I like is that your bio, I help humans communicate their messages effectively across the galaxy. Can you just tell us a little bit about where the name Code Galaxy came from?
The name Code Galaxy is we see it as a way that we have the secret code where you can communicate your message across the galaxy. So we are a big galaxy, and it's all about getting your message out there to different people. So quite often we have messages, but if they're lost in outer space and nobody's seeing them or hearing about them, then they're pretty useless. So we see it as we've got the code. Yeah, so
Yeah, that's
quite,
a good way of explaining that. I've never had it explained that way, but it sort of makes sense, doesn't it? When you That's cool. So could you tell me a little bit more about Code Galaxy and what it is that you guys do?
Yeah, so we do a few different things, but we do bespoke websites. So quite often we get asked, well, what is a bespoke website, and why is it different to any website that you can just get out there? And the thing that we do differently is that we design and code it all from scratch. So we pride ourselves on that no one else on this planet will have a website the same as another person that we create. So basically, if we do one for you, then it will be completely unique to yourself. And
Yep.
we design it in a way that is unique to your own business goals and targets. And we make sure that it has got all the marketing fundamentals built in there from the start, rather than trying to add them all at a later date, which can be time consuming and cost consuming as well.
Yeah, I guess that if you're adding things in afterwards, you're sort of having to build in legacy, aren't you, as well, which is
Yeah,
a bit of a pain. I know
definitely.
for myself, when you're building on WordPress, and the amount of times it like seems to update about 3 or 4 times a week, and it's like why can't it just be right the first time sort of thing? So it sounds good the way that you guys are doing it, getting it right first time.
Definitely. I think it's really important just to have a good start, because we find that we have some of our clients that come to us and they've spent years trying to like perfect their website or the marketing, and they just don't get anywhere. And then they're quite impressed with how quickly we can turn it around and the results that they get in a short space of time as well. So I think it does really matter having the three elements of the marketing and the design and the coding all working together in unison. That's a really big factor of how to get online success.
Yeah. So you just mentioned the extra branding bits that you do there, sort of the SEO and the marketing. Have you found that those ranges of services have grown over the year if clients have asked for them, or were they always there in the beginning? Is it sort of an organic growth, or have you added bits onto the agency as people have asked for them?
We've always provided that from the start. So we've got years and years of experience. Even though Code Galaxy is, we started in 2017, we have got years and years of experience doing the marketing, like the SEO and the email marketing. And so quite a lot of our clients, when they come to us for a website, they're quite happy to continue the service with us and have the marketing added on as an extra, which is quite good because they're getting that consistency throughout. And they know that when you get a website, that you have to do something with it. You can spend thousands of pounds on a website, but if you don't do anything with it afterwards, traffic and sales aren't going to just happen on their own. They have to be built up over time as well. So you have to feed and grow that website and make sure that you are making it fresh and you're keeping it all up to date. Otherwise, it's just going to be left there to kind of rot away, really.
Yeah, definitely. That's one of the things I've noticed on your website, that you have the a 5-step process. So even before your clients picked up the telephone, they can see sort of how you guys work. So it's going through learn, design, develop, launch, support, which is a bit you were just talking about. Can you just talk us through a bit more your 5-step process with new clients?
Yeah, definitely. So I think it's really, really important to learn about that business. So if someone was to come through to us and say that they need a website, we wouldn't just start the project. We have to do our own research, and that's quite a big factor in it, is to understand like who they're trying to sell to, what their business is all about, what their targets are. Because sometimes we get people that come to us with really unrealistic goals. So they might have, say, like a £500 budget, but they want to build a website on the same scale as Facebook and compete with Facebook. So it's like learning who they are, what they're trying to do, who their target audience is, what exactly their goals are. And just having a really good research on, like we always say to our clients, regardless of this, to make sure that you're aware of what's going on around you, like what your competitors are doing, and kind of getting a good understanding whether there is a need for that service and whether it is worth the investment as well. So quite often, say if it's for like the marketing, if we know that their website isn't where it should be, we would recommend for them not to spend money on the marketing until they've tweaked that or got all the issues sorted out first. So it might seem like pessimistic at times, but we just like to make sure that they are well aware of how we work and we have a good understanding of what they want to achieve, so that there's no kind of, I don't know what, like the expectations there, so they're not disappointed. And the communication is there from the start, which is a good way to kind of start any project, really.
Yeah, well, I think you can obviously tell you're passionate about it. I think that's the best way to work, isn't it? If you put some sort of points in place where you know you're going to achieve this, you know you're going to achieve this, rather than your client thinking, oh, for £500 I could be the next Facebook. And there will be agencies out there who will probably promise that kind of thing. I think you guys are probably... Yeah. Is it quite a lot of your client base? Is it sort of retainer or repeat business?
I would say that we have a really good. Retainer. Can't get my words out. Basically, we have a lot of our clients do stay with us. They don't often move on. But when they do, they come to us and they like us to keep them on a retainer kind of settlement, so that each month they know that they have our support and help, and they've got us whenever they need us. And it's good for them to have that consistency as well.
Yeah, definitely. So just going back to the website side of things. Are you guys very design led, or when you're talking about working the other things into it, do you sort of look at the technical constraints of building the website first, and then what you need to achieve through your points, and then work backwards from it? So are you more of a design led agency, would you say, or is it more of a technical led agency?
I would say it's a combination of both. I think it's really important to have both of the elements in there, because it's all right having the design all nice and pretty, but if there's a lot of the technical aspects that aren't there and don't provide a really good experience for the users, then it's a little bit pointless. So we have in-house developers and designers that work together from the start to the end to make sure that it has a complete overview, really, of how it should be put together, which is really important as well, because they both need to work in sync.
Yeah, definitely. And would you say a lot of your business is a collaborative process? So you're involving the designers, the developers, and are you involving the client in that process, so they're sort of going along with you as well?
Yeah, definitely. So we'll speak to the client and we'll get kind of an understanding of what they think they want. So they will tell us all the different technical side of things that they want and all the designs that they like to aspire to. And then what we will do is we will get a good picture of that, and then we will add on all the extras that they should have. So they will tell us what they want and we will tell them what they need. And then as a team at Cog Galaxy, we will work together and make the best plan to move forward. And then we'll keep the client updated on a very regular basis, that they're well aware of what's happening and how things are being put together. So they have a really good understanding of why it's important to do things the way that we do them.
Yeah, cool. All sounds good. Where do you see sort of the future of websites and online branding going? Do you think there's still power in the website, or do you think elements such as social media, Google My Places, etc., are beginning to replace it?
I don't think so. I think like we saw the Yellow Pages kind of go extinct recently, and I think more people are going online to find out more about our business. I know that social media is really important, and we are big advocates of getting your business out there on social media. But I always think that people like to find out a little bit more, and go and do a lot of research on the individual websites as well as going online on, like, say, Facebook or Twitter. So I always say this to everyone, like, make sure that your website is up to date, all your information's up to date, and all your content's fresh and up to date on there, because I think people are really nosy and they like to know a lot more than what is provided on social media, and it's kind of like the hub of all your contact information and case studies that are kind of nicely put together online that you wouldn't really see on social media. So I don't think it will be extinct for websites. I think there's still a lot of power in there, but I think there is a bit more competition when it comes to getting organic traffic to your website. So you have to do a lot more for, like, the SEO side of things, or social media, and even like email marketing to try and drive traffic to your website. But yeah, I think that well and truly websites are just going to continue to grow, really.
Cool. You just mentioned there email marketing. Do you guys still find there's also still power in email marketing after the big GDPR scare last year, where everybody said everything was going to go down the pan? Are you still finding good results from that?
Yeah, I think as long as you are compliant, which I think is, if you're running an ethical business and you're doing things the right way, then you shouldn't really have any concerns. I know before even GDPR was launched, we were still doing things as they should be. So we were following all the guidelines and the practice that they say that you should be doing way before May 2018. So we knew we had good practice in place. But I think it is really important that you have a really good process for your email marketing and make sure that you are adhering to GDPR. But as long as you're doing that, there's still a lot of business to be gained from it. I know from, like, data from 2018 from, like, the UK and worldwide, that email marketing was growing, and it has had a significant growth. So I definitely feel like it is still a great way to try and get business, really.
Yeah, it's interesting when you say it's still growing, because I forgot who I was listening to. There was a podcast I was listening to, and they were saying obviously it's great to be on Twitter, Facebook, etc., but then they sort of own you, don't they? So it's not going to happen. But if Facebook disappeared overnight, you're not there anymore. But when you have an email marketing list, somebody who is actually opening up your emails and listening to you every Wednesday or every Friday or whatever, you sort of got their attention outside of that sphere where everybody else is after their attention as well. You're not just sort of swipe past; they are literally looking at your thing for 5-10 minutes or whatever. So it opened up for me as a great way of still doing it. But yeah, obviously, as you're saying, it just has to be done ethically, which is where people like you guys come in, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. I think as long as you are doing things the way that it should be, and you are respecting the people that you are sending it to, and you're not being spammy, then I don't think the people that you send it to will have a problem. And even if they do, as long as you have that part at the bottom where they can opt out and they don't have to be pestered, then you're not really going to come to much trouble. But I do think, I know a lot of users and a lot of our clients, they find that that they get really great results from the email marketing, especially when they're sending out newsletters, and it is really informative and adding value to the people that are receiving it. So as long as you're not just trying to be too salesy all the time, it is something that is quite engaging and exciting to read, you'll find that you'll get great results from it as well.
Nice one, great. So what would you say that the future holds for you, for yourself and for Code Galaxy? What's the end goal?
Well, we have had, we do practice what we preach, and so we've had lots of growth since 2017, and we will be moving into our bigger office in the next month or two, and that means that we'll be able to take on more staff and grow as well. So we are looking to expand. And we're just looking forward to working with more Lancashire-based businesses. We've already built up some great partnerships, and we're just looking forward to building on them and continue to help our clients and all of our contacts grow as well. So yeah, we've got a lot of exciting projects that we're working on, and we can't wait to we're just really excited, really. It's hard to kind of switch off when there's so much going on. But we know that 2019 is going to be a really good year for Code Galaxy. There's going to be a lot of changes, so a lot to look forward to. So we'll see. Cool,
sounds good. When you're talking about your exciting projects coming up there, what would the perfect project for you guys look like?
Oh, the perfect project. We like a good challenge. Um, so it's kind of the things that we work on. We like to know that it's going to be worthwhile, and the kind of things that get us really excited. So one of them that we're working on is with Shout Network, and it's for Find My Futures, which is going to be an absolutely amazing thing to happen in Lancashire. So it will connect young people going into the world of work and business with other businesses. So it's going to be absolutely fantastic. So we're so excited to be a part of that new project with Shout Network. So things like that where we know it's going to have a massive impact and difference, especially in Lancashire and beyond. It gets us really excited. So yeah.
Nice one. All sounds good. Nearly there. What's the one piece of advice that you give people who are trying to sort of get into your sector of work?
Trying to get in there. I think it's just make sure that you really research the area. I think quite often people think it's going to be an easy way to make money, but I think you have to make sure that what you're doing, you're adding value to businesses, and it's not just all about the money or about what you can gain. And I think as well, you've just got to make sure that you are doing the best to help businesses develop, and you are ethical in what you do. But I think it is great. There's a lot of rewards, and it's changing so much, the digital sector. There's a lot of changes, and I think it is really exciting. I know, like, my daughter, who's only 9, she's really keen to get into like the IT and development. So she's already learning and reading and practicing out how to make websites.
Wow.
So I do say, like, go for it, and it is really rewarding and exciting. And just make sure that what you do is the heart of what you do is that you want to add value rather than just trying to make quick money, because it's not a quick gain. It's more about changing yourself and changing other people's businesses as well.
Yeah, definitely great advice. And final question, where can people find you online?
Oh, you can find us at codegalaxy.co.uk, so that's an easy one. Or if you want to follow us on Twitter or Facebook, then you can find us there too. But we're trying to get out a little bit more, so you'll probably see us out and about in Lancashire, especially if you wanted to see us in person. Yeah, so come and say hello.
Yeah, nice one. Thank you very much for that, Mary.
Thank you, Jack. It's been lovely to have a chat with you, and yeah, really good. Thank you for inviting me.
And that's it for today's episode of Creative Crossover. I hope you found something valuable in what Mary had to say, and please do connect with her online. If you could leave us an iTunes review as well, that'd be absolutely amazing. Just help us grow the show a little bit.